This is Wake Up and Lead, a daily podcast where ambitious young professionals learn to lead themselves. I'm your host, Hampton Dorsch, and today we are talking about future. How do we turn decades into days? Well, we find a mentor that has been there and done that, somebody that has spent a couple of decades doing something that you haven't, a couple of decades running a business, a couple of decades in sales, a couple of decades as a husband, wife, father, mother, follower of Christ, etc. And we ask them questions, we shut up, and we listen to them. Now, it is very common for people to ask the question, okay, I get it, mentors are important. How in the world do I find one? And that is one that I cannot give you an exact formula to. But the best advice that I can give to you is to always be looking for a mentor. And I think giving someone a way out increases the chances of them wanting to meet with you. So something that I would recommend you not doing, let's say there's someone you want to learn from, someone that's a little bit ahead of you. Do not say, hey, can I pick your brain for a little bit? Because kind of what that says to them is like, hey, your time is, I guess it's valuable, but me, who we've never really met before, I, am worth just you taking an hour to pick your brain. And the thing is there's probably a lot of people asking them for that. And so you put them in an awkward situation where they either don't respond to you or they don't want to say yes, or they're kind of resentful when they do say yes. The best way to do it is to say, hey, I'm actually looking for a mentor, and I'm not going to ask you to commit to anything like significant, anything long-term. In fact, I would really just love if I could buy you coffee once, and I have these 5 questions that I would love to ask you about. Would you be willing to talk about that? Send them the questions ahead of time, meet with them. And I think the odds drastically improve of you being able to get that meeting with them. And if you come prepared to ask questions, hungry to listen, and you meet with them once, you take the advice they give you, you write them a letter and thank them for meeting with you, there's a pretty dang good chance that they're going to want to meet with you again. Why? Because we were created to give back to others. And while people don't have all the time in the world to mentor all the time, we want to give back. Business owners sell their business, they make millions of dollars. They could go sit on a beach and drink Mai Tais all day, but what do? They oftentimes go and become professors at Harvard. Why? Because they want to teach. They want to multiply. They want to leave a legacy. And so there are people out there that want to be asked to mentor. To be a mentor. Sorry, that took me a minute to get that out. There are people out there that want to be asked to be a mentor, but they don't want you to be lazy, because the best mentors out there, the wisest people, I guarantee you they're getting asked a lot. And so what can you do specifically? You can find the person you want to learn from, give them an easy out by saying, hey, like, I'm not asking you to meet like every week or anything. Maybe in the future we can meet more frequently, but for now, I've got these specific questions for you. I'll send them to you ahead of time. If you don't mind, I'll come to your office. I'll come to your house. I'll buy you coffee, whatever. Can we just meet this one time? Then you show up, you ask those questions, you listen and you learn, and then you put them into action. You follow up with them about some of the things that you did that they told you, how it impacted you, and write them a handwritten note and thank them for doing it. That is going to be going way above and beyond, way more above and beyond than most people would, than just asking the question, hey, can I pick your brain? That is lazy. And not that I have people reaching out to me all the time like, hey, can you mentor me? But the people that do say, hey, can I pick your brain? That just shows like, hey, how am I supposed to know they didn't send that message to like 100 other people? If it's something specific about my experience that they think they can learn from, I am much more likely to want to like say yes to that. And so the topic of turning decades into days is find someone that has been there, done that, and learn from them. I mean, some of the best things I've done, some of the most success I've had has come on the back end of getting that wise counsel of people that have been there before me, because a lot of times they can see your blind spots and they've been there before, and they can say, hey, I would watch out for this. Another thing I've benefited from when it comes to mentors in my life is finding a mentor that doesn't have skin in the game in your life, like that they don't work at your company. They're not like a boss. Maybe they're not even a family member either, to where like the only reason they're meeting with you is genuinely to help you. I think that goes a long way too, because it takes a lot of the emotion out of it when they don't have skin in the game. So that's another piece of advice there. But just remember, if you are humble and you're very strategic and intentional with the person, and you tell them that you really value their time, that will massively increase the chances of you getting a first meeting with someone and ultimately them turning into a consistent mentor over time. It's time for you and me to wake up and lead.